Good morning and welcome to this morning's reflection, and I'm delighted that we could be together again this morning as we continue our journey into Advent, as we continue walking together towards the birth of Christ. We begin this morning by reading from the book of Micah, chapter 5, verses 1 to 2. And I am reading from the Message. But for now, prepare for the worst, victim daughter. The siege is set against us. They humiliate Israel's king, slapping him around like a rag doll. But for you, Bethlehem, David's country, the runt of the litter, from you will come the leader who will shepherd rule Israel. In some ways, we too are like Bethlehem. We see ourselves as too tiny to imagine our own greatness, which is there. It's there because Jesus is born in us, and we are reborn in Him. We are the space that Jesus desires to enter so that we may experience rebirth, resurrection, and transformation. In Revelations, it tells us that Jesus stands at the door and knocks, just as he knocked in the form of the angel Gabriel, who came to announce to Mary that the Christ, the Messiah, was to be born in her. And so today, Jesus knocks, as he does every day, requesting that we open the door to our hearts. He knocks and waits. We have to be quiet enough to be able to hear the knock. We have to be aware enough to hear it and to open the door and let in the light. The light brings hope into our dark spaces deep within us. The light enables us to see. Sometimes we may have opened the door to our hearts, but we have kept other parts of ourselves locked away, parts that we do not want to acknowledge. And so this Advent we might ask, where am I still locking Jesus out? Where am I afraid to go into my inner world, so much so that I shut the door? We all have areas of our lives about which we are deeply ashamed, areas that are marked by regret and self-recrimination. And often, because of these areas, we slam the door shut, closing ourselves off from God, closing ourselves off from life, from others. And we punish ourselves, believing that God would have nothing to do with us. Yet whatever it is that we may have done, it never stops God from knocking. It never stops Jesus knocking, never stops him from wanting to enter and be with us, with you and with me. We can open that door, just as Mary did, and have Christ born into our innermost being afresh. We have to understand that this is God's deepest desire for us, It is His desire that we will experience His lavish love, and that He too, in return, will experience our abundant love. Remember, God is not just an experience of ours. We are also an experience in the mind and heart of God. When we recognize that Jesus is knocking at the door, we too can be like Elizabeth, who, when she saw Mary walking towards her, pregnant, said, "Who is this, that my Lord should come to me?" When Jesus knocks, we too might say, "Who is this, that my Lord should come to me?" This Advent, may we find our hearts leaping for joy as we recognize Him who knocks. And may we throw open the door and allow the light and joy of Christmas to fill our hidden spaces. And so in your imagination, I want you to participate in this prayer. Imagine yourself sitting in your room alone. And you hear a knock at the door. You get up. You walk across the room and you open the door. And there, standing in the doorway, is Jesus. Imagine Jesus looking at you and you looking at Jesus. What does He say to you today? And what do you say to Him? And I'm going to leave you in this space of imaginative prayer. Stay there for as long as you need to.